Hello, everybody. It's the coach. This is Madden 20 on EA Sports. On tap, we've got what should be a fairly intriguing matchup between the Jacksonville Jaguars and the Houston Texans.
Okay, Coach, on a wonderful fall afternoon in the state of Texas, the roof is open, and we've got football from NRG Stadium in Houston. Today, we've got a matchup here in pivotal Week 7 between the Jacksonville Jaguars and the Houston Texans. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So out come the Texans for their opening drive. Leading them out is their quarterback, the former 12th overall pick. Some refer to him as the...
And this is a game...
Watson on first down, and incomplete to open things up. The linebacker, Telvin Smith, able to get a hand on it there.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on first down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on first down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up second down.
On the ground, this is Lamar Miller. Looking to find a lane, but he can't. Reined in at the line of scrimmage. Calling no gain on the run there, and now they'll be looking at a third down. There you see the starters defensively for Jacksonville. They were terrific last week against Buffalo in that victory.
I just consider myself fortunate that I'm not in charge of the offensive line. They gave up 7 sacks last week. And if things don't improve in this game, the head coach isn't going to be looking at the offensive line. He's going to be looking at the offensive line coach. And that's when things get dicey.
Tough sledding. They lose a yard there on third.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
Go now, AP Gator. It's our time. It's our time. Go.
First carry for James Conner. And not much. Maybe a yard up to the 29. And the offensive unit now for the Jaguars.
And they're coming off a good win on the road last week, but they do know that they have a home game next week. So all the focus has to be, can they get a second win on the road and make going home that much sweeter? That's the intention in this ballgame.
On 2nd and 9, Watson. That is caught by Josh Oliver, the former San Jose State Spartan. 11 yards there for Jacksonville and a first down as well.
I got a kick out of that one, partner. You and I talk often about trying to hide receivers in certain situations, but a guy of his size, can't really hide him. But the tight end drag route, definitely an effective way to sneak him across the formation for an easy completion and a first down.
On 1st and 10 is Conner. And he'll push this forward only to about the 42-yard line. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. Well, look now at our starting defense. They enter play 1 from the bottom, number 31 in the league, Charles, against the run.
And that's been an Achilles heel for them all season long, being able to play against the run, being able to slow teams down. But it's not just that. When you give up big chunks of yardage in the running game, it also opens up the passing options for the team you're playing as well. So typically, when you don't put a
blitz coming, and down he goes. Bernardrick McKinney muscled his way in for the sack.
Well, that play was the very definition of fast, quick, and in a hurry. Suddenly, he was there.
In a blink of an eye, that happened fast, and a big sack. 3rd and long, it's Watson. And able to find Conley. And he's going to be taken down with another first down as the stop's made at the Texans' 45-yard line.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice gain.
A gain of 3, second down.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense, because you're excited about hitting him in the first half, maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
From the 41, Watson. This one caught by his tight end, Oliver. And he's going to be taken down with another first down as the stop's made at the Texans' 16.
Brandon, unless my eyes deceive me, I think they found a matchup that they're trying to exploit here, don't you? I mean, it's the second time they've gone to him here on this drive.
Yeah, opening drive. It's a tone setter, right? I think they're going to be looking his way a lot.
Yeah, and I think that the way things are going right now, they like him as a featured receiver. Let's see what kind of adjustments the defense is going to make to try and take that away.
From the red zone now, Watson. And he just throws this one away. Smart decision here this close to the end zone, and it brings up second down.
They're bringing a lot of pressure here already in the first quarter. Already sacked him once. Now they get in there and knock another one away. You think maybe that Tucker rule being gone makes defenses a lot bolder?
Yes, indeed. That time, lucky that the arm was going forward. Incomplete pass. They'll try the left side. It's Owens. And he will get this into the end zone for a Jaguar touchdown. A great effort there. His second touchdown on the season as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. An ideal start for them, really. You force the punt, and then you go down and score.
And you've got to see a fist pump on the sideline from the head coach, don't you? Because he's turned into his bench, and he's telling his team, this is how we prepare. Force the punt, go downfield and score. I told you guys, it's just like a boxer in the gym preparing for the fight. Now we get to turn it all loose.
And Lambeau now, after the touchdown, he'll kick this one away. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. Now the Texans offense, they head back out to do battle here. And on the first drive, 3 and out. And I know that these are professional athletes, but I would imagine sometimes you get the nerves at the beginning of a game still, don't you?
Those don't ever go away. And typically what I've heard from guys and what I remember from playing, if you don't have nerves at the start of a game, it's not going to be a great day for you. You're not really ready to play. So finding a way to harness those nerves and not let them affect you in a negative way, that's what all the guys are looking for.
Plays like we just saw there, that's why they're up right now. And the defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them say we're going to build from the inside out, because if you control the line of scrimmage, you control the rest of the ball game, and that's what we're seeing here. They're actually playing in the offense's backfield, not necessarily just playing at the line of scrimmage.
Lamar Miller. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. A second down play results in a loss of 2 yards.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long. Out of the gun, Watson. And he's got the completion to Hopkins. A big 3rd down conversion with a gain of 28. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on 3rd down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times, because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a first down.
A look at the numbers from last week for Miller. 13 carries, 64 yards.
They've lost a bunch of games in a row now. They've got to start thinking a little bit differently, maybe a little bit outside of the box. Find other ways to move the football. I don't know if you're going to do it through the air or maybe change up how you establish your run game.
And he's going to take this across midfield into Jacksonville territory.
All right, Brandon, I know we're in the early going here, but those kind of runs, they're going to open up a world of opportunities for this offense going forward.
They'll try to run for it with Miller. And they go backwards here, losing yardage back at the 48-yard line. A 3-yard loss. 4th down now.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
And the punt over the side in the air, and the spot will be inside the 35. And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. They'll be looking to duplicate that first drive, the one that got them that 7-0 lead.
Of course they would. I mean, look, they're on the road. So getting the 7-0 lead was huge for them, right? Imagine getting up 2 touchdowns on the road, taking the crowd out of the game. It'd be ideal.
They start with a give to counter. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
From the 35 on 2nd down, Watson. And he completes it to Westbrook. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. Now, after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. Well, he gets attended to. We'll step aside.
Here we go. 50, plant. Get that ball. Get that, go.
They go play action here on 1st down. And the catch made here by Marquise Lee. And now off to the races down the right side. Touchdown, Jaguars. Marquise Lee, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Jaguars are able to widen their lead. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky Country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
So they only needed 3 plays on that drive. And it culminates in a Jags touchdown. And Lambeau now, after the touchdown, he'll kick this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And here comes the Texans now. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points get that 0 off the board. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. A fresh set of downs on a gain of 13 there for the Texans.
Partner, this is one of the best routes anyone can have in their offensive playbook. Tough to defend because you think it's a go route, and then he breaks it back on the comeback. There's one other thing you need as well.
A well-thrown ball?
Exactly right. You have a guy who has some precision in throwing the football because of the timing of the route.
Oh, a scrap for the football, and he's going to come down with it. Texans passing game in rhythm right now, picking up another first.
I don't care who you put on him, he's going to be a handful of one-on-one throws.
Yeah, right now you're right. They're in man-to-man. Maybe need some safety help.
I would say that'd be a good idea. Double team him somehow. I'm going to have to make someone else beat me rather than let him shred my defense.
Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down. Watson with a give to Miller. And he's going to be brought down on what will be the final play of this first quarter.
Defense.
And that one was relatively easy to see. I noticed that from up here.
Yeah, it doesn't take a whole lot, does it? Sometimes you get multiples. What I always love on these offsides is when each side points at the other. Hey, you did it. No, you did it. They deciphered that one correctly.
Following the penalty, it's 1st and 5, and you got to think offensively, all kinds of options. After the penalty, it's Miller. And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here. It's a pickup of 6 and good enough to move the chains.
Yeah, they really needed to get something going, didn't they? They had punted on the last 2 possessions. The running game starting to come to the front for them, providing a nice pickup there to keep this drive going.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Here's Watson. Oh, the ball is out. Watson lost it. But I think a Texan player was able to get his hands on it, and they will indeed hold on to the ball and the possession.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from it. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
And there just continues to be nowhere to run. He's bottled up again at the line of scrimmage.
No gain on that run, and while the team is down, there's still time to come back and win the football game. If I'm the offensive coordinator, though, I've got to think about moving at a faster pace and maybe opening things up a little bit and throwing it a little bit more.
Here's Watson. They'll find Everett there, complete. 2 yards is all they'll get on the completion. It's 4th down.
That's certainly playing down and distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath, by all means.
The Texans send the punter out as he's on here to punt it away. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away.
Good one, boy. Let's go. Let's go.
So here are the Jaguars to take over on offense. They've won 2 straight, and they lead this one as well as they come up on 1st and 10.
60 out more. Too little, got 41 to mark.
On 1st down, Watson. The connecting here with DJ Shark. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. A good pickup there, 21 yards. Cool under pressure right there, escaping the pocket and finding what I think was not his primary target.
And some of these guys are just so comfortable getting outside of the pocket that they'll do it on purpose. It doesn't even need to be a breakdown. They move, and they know it affects the defense because a lot of times you get lost in coverage in the secondary, and I think you're exactly right. Wasn't his primary target. Found a secondary guy who sprang open, probably because of his movement out of the pocket.
It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down, a very solid gain on that play.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6.
Get ready. Get ready. Get it.
Watson now to throw. Caught here by Conley. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a 1st down. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing, playing against a good quarterback like he is, to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front, defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield. But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Watch the curve. Watch the curve.
on 2nd and 9. Watson nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Well, maybe that can give him a little bit of a pick-me-up, a little bit of a jolt. One of the few things has gone right defensively.
Because other than that, it's really been a first half to forget. And the Texans have an extra defender in the secondary now on 3rd down. From the gun, here's Watson. And that will be incomplete.
It is tough to complete passes against zone defenses. The windows that you see open, they shrink pretty rapidly. How about being able to hit a moving target against a zone before the next guy can get there and make a play on the ball?
Not easy for any quarterback, no matter the situation, and there the defense won the battle. And a nice job here to down this one right on the 5-yard line.
That is how you flip field position. That's an absolute bomb of a punt. Downs it inside the 5-yard line. Absolutely ideal.
From that position, you're hoping to get it down inside the 15, inside the 5. Superb. Back to throw, Watson. He finds Hopkins complete. And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 20. 15 yards, the Texans pick up the first down. So the previous play, a big help, as now they'll have it 1st and 10 up at the 20. Now it's Watson. That's complete to the tight end, Everett. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal, because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
They'll come up 2nd and 6 now from the 24.
Hey, tight end's right. Watch tight end.
To throw is Watson. And he's going to have the hook up to QT. And he'll get this up to the 34-yard line. 10 yards there, good enough for a Texan first down.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Watson going to give this one to Miller. And he'll get 2, maybe 3, up near the 37.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7.
I'm going back to you.
Play action from Miller. Now Watson. It's complete to Hopkins. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 16 yards on that one, and also a Texan first down.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Watson now nearly perfect. 9 of 10 in this first half. It's 1st and 10. A shotgun snap for Watson. Open man is QT, complete. A short gain of just over 2 yards as the first half clock dips inside of 3 minutes.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
That first down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7.
Watch the screen. And him go.
On the jet sweep, here comes Fuller. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down.
Brings up 3rd down and 7.
The Texans on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This is 3rd and 7. 2 minutes to play, first half. It's 14-0. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. They'll run with Miller, and he gets this inside the 35-yard line. That's good for a Texan first down, a 12-yard pickup.
Well, partner, what do you think? Might have been 4-down territory if they didn't pick it up, but...
Yeah, it's a moot point now. I was curious, so if they didn't get it there, would they have gone for it? I guess we'll never know.
Yeah, we didn't have to make that call, but I have a feeling both of us would have said, go for it.
Now Watson's throw is taken in by QT. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. 15 yards, the Texans pick up the first down.
Well, coaches always talk about finding balance on offense. I don't think you get much more balance than this. Big-time run, big-time pass.
A 1-2 combination. Looked pretty good.
How about that? Let's see if they can continue to take that kind of a punch, though.
Now Watson. And this is what here? Incomplete, they say. Looked like it was intercepted, but he apparently did not get the 2 feet down in bounds. Some of the fans here don't seem too happy about what we've seen in this first half.
No, not at all, and I understand why. They look lethargic, out of sync, and it shows on the scoreboard.
Back to the air, Watson on second down. With a catch made by Hopkins. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. Now the Texans will burn the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. This is first and goal and a golden chance to get a score back here before halftime. Again, it's Watson. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency. Got a man open. It's Fuller for the Texans touchdown. Will Fuller, his third touchdown now on the year, as they are now on the board here in the first half. The way this one was going, you just got the sense they needed something before half. They've at least got something on the board now. Still trailing, but a good sign.
That takes me back to our preseason tour of NFL camps. You remember we talked with that one coach who said his emphasis this year was scoring in the last 2 minutes of a half, heading into the locker room. This hits it right there. Take that momentum, take that good feeling, and take it to the locker room, regroup, and start over. They got it here.
They did indeed. A lot of football, full half to be played. Now here's the signal caller getting ready to lead this offense again. He's played a pretty clean first half, a touchdown, no interceptions.
Frankly, that's what they expect out of him. They want to see the ball thrown and thrown well, and he's able to do that and put it in the end zone. They'd love to see more of that before this game finishes. But right now, he's got his team in a good spot.
A good spot, maybe looking for touchdown pass number 2 here in the second quarter.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax.
And the pressure will get to him. He goes down. Now there is a flag on the play, but this looks like holding on the offense. So they will take the sack instead of the penalty.
And it takes another down off the series. But the biggest one of all, do you want to tell the guy who just got the sack that it no longer counts?
No.
No, not at all.
So following the holding call, what can they do here on third and long? Not wanting to risk another sack for the run. And he'll be brought down at the 28, and that is well short of the first. Now the Texans will use one of their 2 remaining timeouts as the clock will stop with 20 seconds to go in the first half. His first punt, 48 yards. This one looks equally as good. Taken in at the 22. A 48-yard punt, 7 on the return. And control of the football switching hands with very little time remaining until the half. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. Time here for likely a couple plays if they want it, but with the field position what it is, maybe better suited to just sit on this one?
I'm with you totally. I would sit on it and get into the locker room and start over. But if they do decide to try and make a play, we know what the basics are. You run draw, you run screen. I would maybe run a little swing pass and try and get my lineman out in space. there and see if he can run a little bit.
And some room to roam now. DeAndre Hopkins, he's all alone. And he's in for the touchdown on the final play of the first half. The prayer is answered.
How did they get that done? And after that touchdown, we got just a PAT away from a tie game. And I know everyone's going to look at it and go, guess what? Tie game, all even? They just scored. If they kick this extra point and tie it, they're going to feel like they're the ones that are in control.
The second half upon us sooner than we bargained for. Week 7, second half. Let's do it. So we're right back where we started. All even as the kick's away. This fielded at the 2. Out come the Jaguars now as they'll go on offense first here in this third quarter. First half showed us some pretty good offense. Tie game, we'll see what the second half brings.
It'll be interesting because I think both sides feel pretty good about what their offenses are doing. Got to wonder what adjustments are being made defensively to try and get a spark and maybe slow down the other side.
But here, do you change up anything on this opening drive?
Not offensively, you don't. You got everything going your way. You've probably prepared for maybe some change-ups you might expect, but overall, you like what your game plan's showing you.
Watch the run. They're running, man.
Watson on first down. He's got the hookup with Conley. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Check 13. Check 13.
On second down, Connor looking for space. He's got the first down and more inside the 40. And finally taken down at the 35-yard line. A Jacksonville first down on a pickup of 17.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
So a 1st and 10 now in Houston territory at the 35-yard line. This one caught by his tight end, Oliver. 25 yards that time.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. And that's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
And he takes it in. Touchdown, Jacksonville. A great play there. His first touchdown on the year. And the Jaguars have taken the lead. And there you go. Nothing really too complex. Block, keep to your assignments, let them run it in. They did it.
Fundamental football. Good blocking, beats good tackling on that play. End result, touchdown.
5 plays there on that drive. And it was finished off with a 10-yard touchdown scamper. And Lambeau now, after the touchdown, he'll kick this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. Here's the Texans offense now, readying for their first possession of the second half. And this game was all square at halftime, but now they find themselves down 7 following the opening drive touchdown here in the third quarter.
And they need to take a good, relaxing, deep breath, don't you think? Because right now they might start to feel like they've got to play catch-up here and start matching them point for point. But it's still too early to get there. They can still run their offense. Plenty of time to get back in this game.
They try and run on first down, but to no avail. Tackled for a 2-yard loss in the backfield. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the third quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. Again, it's Miller. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. A big one there for the Texans, 18 yards.
First downs have not come easy, and neither have runs like this throughout this game.
Absolutely not. He finally felt like, whoa, a sigh of relief. We got something going in the running game. You can just kind of sense the momentum turning here. It's 1st and 10. They'll toss it to Miller. And that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. That really sets them back, a loss of 6.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. Now on 2nd and 16. Watson got an open man. It's QT. They get 16 out of that one, but they'll still need to convert on 3rd.
That looked like a pretty good route combination there because you've got to find a way to clear the guy running the drag, because when you do, you just put the ball on him and then let him run.
Yeah, he's got some space. Watson on 3rd down. He finds his target, Fuller. They just keep marching right along. 1st down on a pickup of 8 there.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to the secondary.
Oh, you saw that one coming. It's intercepted, thrown back across his body. A.J. Boye with a pick. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. That's a tough spot as a quarterback, Charles. You want to get rid of it, but you see what can happen when you do try to get rid of it with pressure.
Yeah, how about the pressure coming without them having to blitz? That's when you know things are clicking for your defense, and the end result, they end up gaining 6 points.
Point after by Lambeau, up and good. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. That's fielded in the end zone. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. Out comes the Houston offense as they get set to take over here. And following the pick 6, and they have decent field position in throwing that pick 6. We'll see how they attack this drive.
And I think all you say to your guy is, listen, let's just take care of the football a little bit better. Make some better decisions on this drive, and they'll probably help him a little bit with maybe some really high percentage throws early to let him get settled back in.
But they told us, they've got confidence. That's not a problem.
Yeah, not a problem at all. They just want to make sure they get things settled down a little bit for their offense and give their defense a little bit of a chance to rest.
And now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete.
Well, I guess that answers the question whether or not they want him throwing it again right away after throwing the pick 6 on the previous drive.
Yeah, not something conservative or underneath. Pretty big shot right there.
Get him right back in the saddle and said, go ahead and sling it, big guy.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25.
Watch left. He's tight right there. 3 down.
Now they'll try the jet sweep here, and that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Out of the gun, Watson. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
They went with the dime look that time on defense, just flooded the field with defensive backs, blanketed everyone, took away all the passing angles, thus the incompletion.
On is the punt team now as this one's sent away. This is taken at the 23. Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And the Jaguars go on offense, first down and 10. Out comes the Jacksonville offense as they get set to take over here. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
From the 34 now, here's first and 10.
Here we go, let's bring it. Let's go, let's bring it. Let's bring it.
It's Connor as they stay on the ground. And the hole closes quickly. He gets it across the 35 to the 36-yard line. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
From the 36, Watson. He's going to rifle one deep left side. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there, trying to take a shot, but it's third down.
Have to give a lot of credit to the defense on that play. They were prepared. Ordinarily, when they take the big shot downfield to the big guy, that's usually a mismatch that the offense is used to winning. But the preparation showed for the defense, and they were able to bat it away.
Hey, exit.
Throwing on third down, Watson. He's got the hook up to Lee. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. A really nice gain of 25 yards. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer. Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Now a man open down the middle of the field. And he gets it all the way down inside the 10 and mark him at the 5. A very solid gain of 27.
Fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes when they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception?
Yeah, and the deflection works both ways. Maybe a defender gets a hand in the way and it pops in the air. And sometimes you throw it so hard your receiver can't handle it, and he pops it up in the air for the defenders to grab as well.
But a moot point there as they were able to connect. A pickup of 4 on first down. It'll be second and goal.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
Check 25, check 25. Check 9, check 9.
They'll look to run with Connor, and he'll take this one in for a Jags touchdown. James Conner, his 6th touchdown of the season, and the Jaguars are able to widen their lead.
That drive that really increased their cushion felt very military to me. Very precise, methodical. That's one of the words you've taught me. And they just got it done.
And slowly but surely now starting to pull away a little bit. Things looking good for them here in the third quarter.
Not only pulling away, but you mentioned that slowly but surely. You also drain clock, too, with a drive like that. So you really give yourself an advantage.
So that winds up a 7-play drive all told. And it was a touchdown run by James Conner that was the exclamation mark. And Lambeau now, after the touchdown, he'll kick this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And now out comes Houston. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep him warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A good pickup there, 26 yards. And at this stage, down in the second half, looks like they just wanted to find a way to get it in the hands of their playmaker, and they did.
I think you're exactly right. I don't think the coordinator's looking at his play sheet and trying to figure out which play will work well. He's trying to figure out how to get the ball to the playmaker that you just described. Looking down at that sheet, you find people plays, not necessarily X's and O's.
Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Jalen Ramsey. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. So their woes on offense continue. That's the second pick thrown here in the third quarter.
And we know it was ill-advised, but that was an opportunity to help them get back into the game. Instead, he throws another interception, and now their task is even tougher.
On first down, it's Owens. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. 11 yards there for Jacksonville and a first down as well.
Partner, if you want more carries, I think we saw how you get him. Showed that he's got the fresh legs, and he picked up the first down on that run. Don't just ask for him. Show him that you're supposed to get the football.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on first and 10. Here's Watson. Completes it to Lee. And nothing but daylight ahead. Touchdown, Jaguars. Marquise Lee, his second touchdown of the afternoon. And the Jaguars are able to widen their lead.
In order to lead in a game, you're going to get plenty of contributors, but that's his second touchdown catch of this game. He's one of the key guys in this one.
And you better believe he'll be looking for the hat trick here as this one continues to go. Extra point tacked on by Lambeau. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. And Lambeau now, after the touchdown, he'll kick this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Getting set to go again, DeAndre Hopkins marches back onto the field. And I know that they've double-teamed him a couple times, but not a ton. Whatever they're doing isn't working. He's up over 100 yards. We'll see how they adjust.
And when they do that, they weaken their defense in other places as well. And how many times have we done games where we've seen a guy have a big game like this? But it's usually not by himself, is it? Right. Usually it opens it up for other people to have big games as well.
10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down. Trying to get one more in here before the quarter breaks. Back now in Houston. A lot of folks starting to make their way to the parking lot. Their guys trail big here to begin quarter number 4.
Let's make these babies cry all the way back home. Let's make these babies cry all the way back home.
On second and very short. Watson. Hopkins on the grab over the middle. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. 16 yards on that one, and also a Texan first down.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and get the quarterback a really nice target.
And he will go down outside of the pocket for a sack. Tried to get away, but could not. Give the sack there to Jake Ryan.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, and with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. Coming up now on a 2nd and 15 following that sack. Watson now to throw, and he'll find QT on the right side complete.
Well, that's what you're looking for when you want to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, can play out wide, who can not only get open, but when they're covered, can uncover themselves downfield and create catches.
The Texans on third down, 3 for 7 so far in this game. This is 3rd and 4. From the gun, here's Watson. Over the middle, that's caught by QT. And he's going to have the first down, yardage to the 35. 63 yards receiving for him now, and that last catch good enough for a first down.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. Incomplete, but a penalty flag is down in the backfield. Let's get the call. They get the tackle, Marcus Gilbert, 2nd-round pick back in 2011 out of Florida. So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20. Operating from the gun, Watson looking for his running back, and he's got him. And this winds up a gain of 4 to the 41. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give him that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
Throwing again on 2nd down. Watson. Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense that's well coordinated. The front and the back really in sync. The front putting on the pressure, the backside being ball.
And they're going to get him. He's taken down for a sack back at the 47-yard line.
Well, how about that? A dime set on defense. 60. None of them blitz. They're just back there in coverage. Defensive lineman gets the sack.
That's where the O-line, they go to the sideline, they keep their helmets on so the cameras can't find them, right?
Yeah, the cameras can't find them, but I know one thing. The O-line coach will.
The Texans send the punter out as he's on for the 5th time here today. This is away and a very good kick, angled for the sidelines. This one angles out of bounds in a good spot in the coffin corner. And they're going to mark this out of the 5-yard line.
That is how you flip field position. That's an absolute bomb of a punt. Downs it inside the 5-yard line. Absolutely ideal.
From that position, you're hoping to get it down inside the 15, inside the 5. Superb.
Let's go now. 90 Wolf.
They'll run on 1st down. Owens. And they'll get him down up past the 15. 10 yards there. Good enough for a Jags 1st down.
Well, Brandon, pace comes into play now because they've got the advantage. They've got the football, but they've got to be very careful about what speed they're going to play. You know, my music teacher back in New Paltz, Mrs. Bythema Bagley, used to say, don't go prestissimo when you really want to go largo. And what she meant by that is don't go too fast when you really want to go at a nice, slow, deliberate pace.
I am speechless. I am without speech.
Get it.
And again this time to the tailback. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
55's my guy, 55. Big grip.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And he's able to get up here to the 26. A gain of 5, good enough for the 1st down.
I know flashy plays, splashy plays, as people like to call them, that attracts a lot of attention. But let's face it, when you're efficient, that can control a ball game. And I love the game plan they've got going right now.
Back-to-back 5-yard gains. Didn't force the ball downfield. Picked it up on the ground.
Yeah, offensive line, they're getting it done.
Ready? 8, read. Check 55, Mike. Get that quarterback, D-line.
On first down, it's Watson. And that's incomplete. The incompletion there stops the clock. Any surprise they're throwing here late?
Ordinarily, yes, because you would think enough is enough. They've got plenty of lead, but I've seen this a bunch of times as well. The defense is going to crowd the line of scrimmage. If you just hand it off inside, you're getting your running back popped a lot as well. Sometimes the defense dictates it. If they're going to crowd it, you may have no other choice but to throw it downfield.
And they finally get him down, but not before he reaches the 34. A big hitter. That one goes for 40 yards.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the fourth as it was way back in the first, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's first and 10 just outside the 30. Right back to Connor here on first. They follow up that gigantic gain with the tiniest of pickups, 1 yard.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
The run only got a yard. Here's second and 9. A give running right is Armstead. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. 10 yards there, good enough for a Jags first down.
But they're getting ready to go to work now in prime real estate after that last run. Found his spot and picked up nice yardage, didn't he?
And now he's got him knocking on the door of the red zone.
30 base.
I'm coming.
On first down, again, they go with Armstead. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves them with 2 to go on second down. Well, they'll take that every time with a lead. First down, fourth quarter, getting 8 yards. You love that.
They will take it, and you have to ask the defensive guys, why did you give it? I mean, you know the situation. You're down, have to stop them, have to get the football back. But 8 yards on first down puts them back on their heels.
On second down, it's Connor. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. 7 yards on the pickup there, and now they'll have it first and goal.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
You're out.
Hey, watch it.
Hey, lock it. Deuce. Shoot.
They'll run here with Connor. They'll get this halfway home from the 8 to the 4 on a gain of 4. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Jaguar football here as we welcome you back. They've got a second and goal now as they look to add a few more points here onto their total. This has been a long drive. You got to figure a field goal would be a letdown. Can they convert now on third and goal? And they take a knee. So on fourth down, Jags kicker Josh Lambo comes on. From the right hash here, should be an easy one. And Lambo will put this one through. And that will just add 3 more to a lead that's already out of hand. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the fourth.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
Fielded about a yard deep. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. And the Texans set to come onto the field. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this?
For a lot of coaches,
be honest.
Don't forget today. Don't forget what has happened out here.
Yeah, use that as ammo going forward.
Exactly. Take a great look at that scoreboard. Realize how poorly everything went for us today. Coaching, playing, the whole deal. And never forget it, because
you're not going to want that feeling.
No, you don't want that feeling again. And who knows? You may meet up with this team again.
Looking for more there on first down, but this throw downfield incomplete.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, fourth quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. From the 24, they'll go again on 2nd and 10. Throwing again is Watson. That's complete to the tight end, Everett. Now the Texans will burn the first of their timeouts as they get it with 26 seconds to go in the football game. A second down completion got him 7. Now here's 3rd and 3. To throw is Watson. From the gun, he'll throw. And some room to maneuver. And he's able to get it back to the 41-yard line. So now he's equaled his interception total from a week ago. Remember, Charles, he had 3 last week.
And you know, all week long he vowed to take that number down. Told the guys on the team, don't worry, things are going to pick up. I've got this. But he is in a major league rut right now. Let's see if his teammates can pick him up along the way.
You're right. He talked about being cool, calm, collective, rebounding. Not rebounding right here.
Hit it.
The defense can stop it twice more as they take a knee here. Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feeling like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for the Jaguars, their good start continues as they get their record up to 4-2. And they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for Houston, it's yet another loss as they've started out now 0-7. And they'll try to rebound next week on the road in Nashville. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Alongside Charles Davis, we thank our entire crew. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This is the NFL on EA Sports.